everyone, and welcome to part 1 of the Battlestar Galactica's Cylon Basestar. This is a really cool kit. It's an old kit from Monograms. We're going to be doing some lighting in it and some cool painting on the top and the bottom, so let's get started. Well, hello and welcome. We are beginning on this Cylon Basestar. These are the middle halves here. I did some stuff off camera just to see what I was wanting to do. On the upper and lower, like actually this piece would go on top like that. And then that would be the bottom, and then the other half would, the other saucers would fit in there. But here in the top half, this plastic is like so dark. It's almost like a black. Like if you hold it up, you get no light leaks except for right there. I'm seeing that. So I do have to go through the ship and look, because there's little gaps and cracks in the detail that I'm seeing light come through. Like this right in between those blocks there. This light always keeps leaning forward. Right in between these blocks there, there's light actually coming through. So there must be either a thin, it got really thin there, or something. There it is. There's a little split there. So I will have to check that, but otherwise the plastic itself, I see it in two areas, and that's really about it. But otherwise the plastic itself doesn't really bleed light through like a white or some other colors. But I did hit this with a silver to give me more of a reflection, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put LED tape in here. I already went through and drilled holes in the sides here in these trenches to get I don't think you'll be able to see them. I drilled little holes, so I'll be able to run fiber optics through to put lights in these trenches on the side walls. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a couple on the ground, but I think that'll do. Let's see if the silver paint covered anything. This one here, I don't have any light leaks except for where I've drilled the holes, so that'll work. So, and these tops, I don't have to, on these bottoms, I have to do the, right? Yeah, on the bottoms, on these here, that connect, that are going to connect like that, I do have to, drill a hole down through to run wire between the two saucer sections. And then I have to drill those garage doors or hangar bay doors in these areas. So that's why I started with these, just to see how, the window lights would look. And that's all that's going to happen to this. If this is the top piece, I'll drill holes here for those little vents that I'm going to create. But this one I got to do the window holes, these lower sections that connect together. I will have, these will actually go like this. This one goes like that, and one will go on top. And then this is the, like that. So these two, I'll have to drill a hole straight through to be able to get to the other side of this one. But these here, I do have to do other bigger holes. And I wanted to see where people were placing it, those holes. And they're more down towards the bottom here. They're not up high. They're way down. So we will do that and get all this so I can get it prepped, and then we can actually start on the lighting. It's like going to be that quick and simple. And then what I'm thinking for these window lights is, instead of running an LED where all the fibers come to it, I'm going to try running an LED strip, kind of like what you do like with a Enterprise from like Polar Lights or something, those saucers or any of the saucer ships, you run, a lot of times you can run it on one side, like the top or the bottom, and it bounces around. Sometimes you do have to put it on both, top and bottom, so it really bounces around, but I'm hoping, and I'll do a test, and if not, I'll have to do it on a little different. But I think what I'll do is I'll do one, like say on this, say these are the two pieces that are going to go together to make one saucer. On this one, there's a way this goes together. You see the two holes here and the one here, there's your two pegs in there, and it does have an arrow stain, you know, that way. I don't know if that's the front per se, because they're identical each bay. The only thing that's going to be different is the blue that we do on the top. There is a little, very little warp, and now I slid it together. It actually went together pretty good. I forgot my train of thought, but now can I get it apart? I can, but yeah, she stuck herself together pretty good. I got a flathead where I can pry in more than one area. There you go. If you're trying to pry from one little area, it'll just bend. There you go. Come on. There we go. So I know what bays are going to go where and what one's going to go over top, being by these arrows and these pegs. So say this one, I put the LED strip. I mean, I can do a whole strip all the way and see how it bounces in there. But what I'm thinking is maybe doing a smaller segment down low on this half, and then maybe doing the other one up high. You know, I don't know if that'll work, or did I just put one center and one center and it just blasts light everywhere. It might even be such a small cavity that I could just go with one light. So I'll probably do one saucer section and then close it and see what happens. And if I don't have to do a light on the other, I won't. And I'm wondering if I should do it, if I do only have to do one section, I probably should do the bottom. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of light leaks, because we're going to have blue lights shining into these. So that's one thing we're going to have to deal with. I don't know if I'm going to have to close those off, but you'll still get some white. But I think I'm going to have those lights pretty close and diffuse them. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those hangar bay doors. If I hit it with some window maker, tape it off and put some window maker in there. I'll have to see, but I have to get all these painted and then put tape on this side of the hole and then put window maker in there and try to be as clean as possible. The hardest thing is I can't lay it flat, so that would be the weirdest thing. If it had those garage hangar bay details that went in there, Boyd just drilled the hole in this, and then he put window maker on the pieces that they added detail on the 30th anniversary, and then that slid over the hole. But I'm thinking I could, you know, or I might have, if I have some clear flat plastic styrene, or I can order some, I can fasten that, sand it lightly just to give it like some diffusion. But we can go ahead and start drilling holes in these. What I did is I take my little finger vise and I can actually chuck it. You take this end off, because this has an end that gives you another spare one of these things that squeezes onto the bits, and you twist that. You can take that handle off and it fits in your chuck. And then I was just drilling, you know, maybe just do it like that. I was just drilling. But I'm thinking, let's try these big holes for now. Well, I'll show you, since I got that chuck in there. We'll start doing some little holes. I was doing some of the lower ones on the other sections. I was doing some of the lower ones actually from the outside. I can kind of choose, so I'm not drilling through a block, like, you know. And I also got to be mindful, like especially with the tops, there's a piece that gets, no, that's the bottom or middle. Right here, there's a little indent where a piece gets glued on, and you know, I did put some windows down there, but you got to be mindful that, you know, at least make them so you can see them from like this angle underneath it, so there's a light underneath that piece. This doesn't have that, so we're good, you know. But I did make sure I didn't drill into this grill system, because that would be kind of silly, and didn't want to drill into that detail, or, you know, have a light sticking out of whatever that is. So it was easier to kind of drill some of them from the outside. You can kind of see some impressions, like each one of those indents is raised on the other side, so you might not want to go in there, so you might want to go on the in-betweens, which I'll do. But here you can kind of look, and I just found a, and I did break this bit once already, but it's still drilling. There, and you just get random. There's one I already drilled. And then I like to hold it up to the light and see what it's looking like. And the more random you are, the better. And that's kind of why I was just going for it, you know. I don't know if you'd ever see back in there. That's good for that side. And then I was just going with one side, that way I could just I kind of did something, you know, there, but let's make it different. I'm going to put one there. That side looks like that, but this one looks totally different. And here, so where were we? Oh, I think I wanted to try to get something a little back further. So we only did this one and that one. I want to try to get something back further. That's okay. Sometimes you don't want a lot, you know, make it look like there's not a lot of lights on one side. Alright, so that's a raised detail there, so it should be a sunken one there. Yeah, and that's probably what it is. And I don't know if I want to put it... I'm going to put one there. Put one there. And we'll put two here. And I hope it misses that detail. We'll see, because there's not... Ah, perfect. Because there's like some blocking in the piping, and I could go through and break off where you blow through. And that's another reason why I'm liking going in this way when I can. It gives you a cleaner hole on this side. And then you have the blowout, you know... That's in the way. You have the blowouts on this side, and then you can just do... You just take your knife and bump, chop them off. Where if you go this way, then that's going to be on the opposite side. So, but I found it's easy just to pick a side and go. And now this time, let's not do one way out here, unless we can get one way out here. Let's see how much space we got. Yeah, there's enough space for light to bounce around in there. Let's try to get one. Those are in front of that long block. Let's put one right above it. See if we can get some light there. If it's a little dim, that's fine. The lights in those rooms, since that's what they're simulating, wouldn't be all the same brightness anyway. Someone might have like 5 lights on in that room, and maybe somebody has just 1. And then we were doing some there, but let's make this a little more less noticeable. We'll skip a whole section there and put 2 here. And we'll try to keep them parallel. We'll do one up high. Try to get one low. Do one right up here. Maybe one right there. I can still get to it. And I can go a little, bit at an angle, as long as it doesn't stretch the holes too big. These holes are going to be a smidget bigger than what the fiber optic is, but that's okay, because once you paint and everything, it's going to fill up those. So, but like I said, instead of actually, and I like to come through and chop these off, especially before I do the silver coating, then I don't have them there. But like I said, instead of actually running fiber optics out of those holes to a single like LED and having the long, what I'll do is I'll run those strips and then I'll just stick little stubbies fiber optics through, and they'll pick up all that light. And then also they probably won't be as bright, because I don't want these windows to look bright. It'll get out of scale since this is huge in real life, since, you know, a Cylon Raider is, you know, gonna be like really small to this scale, you know. So I don't want the lights in the windows to be really bright. But that's what I found works really good, is just to pick a side and just keep trucking, because the details are the same on this side all the way, and so you can kind of remember what you're doing. Just go for it. That's what I say. Now this one I might not put all of them. I might just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's good to really change how many and where they're at. But I'm going to leave it dark in the back there. Now this time let's keep it a little dim up front. And we'll put these two in. And maybe one here, one down low, one up high. And one right about there. And let's see if I like that. And you can always go and put it up to your light and check to see how we're looking. Oh, I think, are we done with that? No. Yeah. So we did all the ones going that way. So it's not going too long, especially if you can chuck your finger vise into your drill chuck. So then you're not just sitting there getting sore fingers. But that shows you what I'm going to do there. I'll go back and finish the rest later. Now I got to figure out what size hole I want for the hanger bays. So I got to get my uni bit, because my uni bit drills better holes than, like, say, my DeWalt regular screwy bill bits. I love these bits. Like I said, you don't have to get anything expensive, but I do suggest that's a good tool to have if you're drilling in the styrene and resins and stuff. It gives you that perfect hole without it grabbing, because normally, like, say you're trying to drill into this plastic with a regular bit and you're kind of going slow or whatever, and you're going, and all of a sudden it can grab because that plastic curls and freezes because it gets hot, and then it causes the bit to grab, and then it just makes the bit want to dart down, you know, where these little uni bits don't do that, because of the fact that they actually shave almost pretty much straight. They're not shaving at a spiral. So we'll use this. Now, how big of a hole I want? That's the question. And this kit, I think it was $10 at, probably at the most, 15 probably the most. I think it was around $7 or $8, to be honest. I mean, I could look up in my purchase history to see what they were, but it was a really good deal, and I just happened to bounce by them by accident, and it came with this little case. It gives you the 3 different ones. You got a bigger one, and you got this one that goes from 3/16 to a half. This one goes from, and it actually has them written on the inside here. This one goes from 1/4 to 3/4, and this one goes from, I think, 1/8 to 1/2. I'm already wearing the writing off there, or it's just getting hard to see because of all the garbage. Yeah, 1/8 to 1/2. That's awesome. So, we know we're going to do them right up high, which makes it easy to drill, but it's going to be right at, that way it's down low to these. That's what I was sawing, and then when the next one, so the doors will be real far apart from each other. So, I'm thinking we're going to want to go to, I might not even want to use this bit because it's got a lot of steps, and I'll forget where I want to go to. Let's think to scale. Let's do that. I think that would work. That gives it some, where I have some space on each side, which is saying 5.45 millimeters. What would that be in inches? 27.28. Or, that's fraction, 0.2145. And I can find about what that is just by putting the calipers. So it's going to be this 3rd one. I think we might even go to the 4th one. The 4th one is 7/32. Alright. Now, one other good way to mark, get this to spin. Maybe not. One other good way to mark stuff so it's just quick visually. Just take a piece of tape and do that. And this works really good on these step drills or uni bits because you got a big flat surface for that tape to stick on. Alright, so we can get rid of this. Close it, make sure I turn it off. For some reason that's, I think, goes through power even when it's off. Now, oh, that works great because wherever these are, there's an opening. So I'm going to say we're going to go right in that. Or do I try one here? Let's try one here. Perfect. And then this will give me a better idea of where to start and the rest, because there's these little lines on these. So it's pretty much in between at the top of this one. So, yeah, and they're all the same. So I can pretty much go like that. Yeah, it's working great. In a mess. And I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to get some. There's the hole, and it'll be down low. And that's it. We'll just keep trucking through. And all these lines that are on here look about right, about the same. Yeah. And you can guesstimate too. I mean, I could go through and make some visual marks. pretty close. And another nice, I'm getting a trash can so I can just keep dumping this in here. And it's not like you got two of them, like, well, you kind of do, but I love how the Unibit makes a perfectly nice round hole. So let's keep going. We got 3 of them. Got 2 more to do. And you saw how fast it is once you break through. Yep. So there we go. There's the trash with the shavings. All right. I'm almost wondering if I should hit that with some putty. Where's that crack? That's down there. Or I can hit it with some surface primer, because that's thick. And that would close it up, and I think that's what I'll do. Then I don't have to wait for putty to dry or anything weird like that. And that surface primer actually has some flex to it. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll do the same on the other side. It'll be exact copy. And then we'll figure out how we're going to put LEDs in here. And the biggest thing that I'm finding that's going to be is not getting blue light to bleed through here. A little bit of white won't matter into this way because it won't, I don't think it will be so bad. The only other thing I'm thinking is maybe running something in between here, but I don't know what I could do, you know, to block that off. You know, if I did something like that in a black tape or a silver tape. I do have silver tape that I could do something like that, and hopefully that would, you know, block some of the light. That I don't know, but I could run silver tape all the way through and then poke these holes, you know, and clean the holes out with the silver, where the silver tape is. Or I could put styrene in between here, but that sounds a little time consuming. But if I ran 1 bead of tape, because I was thinking about putting a tube in here, but if I didn't do these, that's all I would have to do. Or something where these lights are pointing at them. I also got to see how probably should go with the 5s. Boy, it went from cold to warm, just like it always does here in Pennsylvania. It'd be cool to stick those right in there, but then you'd have this big beacon like that. But that's kind of the effect I'm looking for. Is that. But I think if we're back here, I should probably almost get it like that. That gives me the best. Oh. These are the decisions to make. I have to go in there and clean up the whole shading. Usually I don't get a lot from the Unibit. these up pretty nice. These are clean. Like, those are good. That one I might have came through from the outside, so probably works the same way as the spiral drills, where it drills a little cleaner on the outside, on the side you're drilling. Which is probably true, yeah, because they're pretty clean on the inside here, except for the one I did drill from the outside. Yeah. Oh, like I said, they're cleaning up pretty good, because it makes nice shavings. You know, it's like one big flat piece that I can just cut. It's ready to fall off. I just got to give it that little extra oomph. Get rid of it. There we go. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. So whatever. So if they're going to be pretty close, it's not going to give me terribly light bleeds that way. I can even paint around the bulb black so it doesn't shine that way. But I still think if I take a little silver tape and just like one big circle, you know, and then for the wires that go to these, I can probably jump over the top here. But it would be nicer to go out and around, boom, boom, boom. So I'll probably do this lighting first. And I think, like I said, when I'm going to stagger them, if I do decide to do that, if that's what's necessary. Like I said, I might only need lights on one side for the fiber optics. I'm not sure. But that's why I was thinking about going with just one segment of the high density. And having one a little more this way and this one, you know, above this way. Like, since this peg's here, I'd, you know, well, no, you can't because then it pops here, you know, but I'm wondering if that would work. Or one long one on one side, you know, it is going to bounce around in there, and this does close like a dome. So it should bounce all around there. I think we might be able to get rid of, you know, do a 2-segment dual density. So that would be great. But I'm gonna stop now and just continue finishing the window holes. And then, well, I got actually this one here. This bit in there. Might as well go through and drill these holes. It's looking good. Sorry about the noise there. I'm trying to get it this level as I can. Last one. Beautiful. And that's basically it. Place to put this. But like I said, I'm going to finish up. I do have the holes drilled in both of these yet because I hit them silver. I'm going to finish up with this guy. Getting the windows on the other side, and then do the windows on that, and then I can hit it with silver, and then it's going to be, man, that's why I love this. It's nice to do a pretty fast, easy kit once in a while. I thought ones I just were working on would be fairly quick and simple, but yeah, I ended up making them more complicated, but I'm glad I did because they look great. The X-Wing and the Snow Speeder. I started out doing them at the same time, and I just took off with the Snow Speeder and then went right to the X-Wing afterwards, because the Snow Speeder just had stuff. They just needed the attention by themselves and tried to do them both at the same time. But yeah, I'll be back soon, show you how that looks, and then next segment I think we'll start laying some lights down and seeing what, you know, what we need to do for these, and then start thinking about how we're going to do the blue trenches. So, till then, happy modeling, and thanks for watching.